Dick DeYoung, editor of HD TV Solutions, and today I'm talking about the Sony KDL 55W900A. In May, Sony rolled out this new top-of-the-line HD TV, which features tri-luminous display technology. To begin, let me simply state that this quantum dot system creates a deliciously rich, colorful picture. In addition, this smart TV provides an integrated Wi-Fi adapter and a barrel full of internet apps from streaming content providers like Netflix, Vimeo, and Pandora. Perhaps surprisingly, the Sony does not include any voice recognition or motion control functions, which I believe is a good omission that makes the TV easier to use. As for design, the Sony is standard looking, except for the translucent aquamarine accent at the edge of the thin brushed black bezel. It's a nice touch, as is the LED below the screen that lights up in different colors according to the status of the TV. The TV can swivel on its stand 15 degrees front and back. This Sony provides 4 separate connection panels. A small panel on the lower right edge contains the basic operational buttons and 2 USB ports. Above it is a thin panel which supplies various inputs, including an HDMI, which is MHL compatible. This mobile high-definition link enables the TV to play back photo, music, and video files from MHL-compatible devices like smartphones via cable. The third panel faces out and contains component and composite inputs, a digital optical audio out, and a LAN port. Below it, the connectors on the fourth panel face down. Along with the coaxial in, there are 3 more HDMIs. One is ARC compatible. This Sony also provides screen mirroring of compatible Android phones and tablets onto its 55-inch display. You can either attach an MHL cable or connect wirelessly. If you are familiar with the X-Cross system on previous Sony TVs, you can see that the designers have changed the layout of the menus, making them easier to navigate. If you connect the TV to the internet, you can access the Sony Entertainment Network with its rows and rows of streaming content partners. This TV can also tap directly into your home network and stream files from your hard drives or media server. Photos look great on this 55-inch TV, but the slideshow menu is pretty basic with only 3 interval speeds and only 1 transition effect, a simple fade. You can also add music to the slideshow. In addition, in the picture adjustments menu, Sony supplies 4 different options specifically for photos. This TV does not include a built-in video camera. If you want to make video calls with a Skype app, you will need to purchase a separate Skype camera. This is a 3D TV that employs active shutter 3D technology, which requires battery-powered glasses. 4 are packaged with the TV. If you have a still camera that shoots 3D images, the MPO format, the Sony will play those back also. And if you just can't get enough of made-for-3D content, the TV can convert 2D into a simulated 3D that you view with the glasses. The effect is not as good as watching a 3D Blu-ray, but it's worth testing to see if it tickles your fancy. Sony packages 2 remote controls with this TV. Both are non-backlit. The bigger one is more traditional with all the common operational buttons, including dedicated ones for accessing Netflix and the iManual, which can be displayed on screen. The smaller remote is dubbed One Touch because you can perform one-touch mirroring of an NFC-compatible mobile device by touching its NFC sensor with the one on the back of this remote. The Sony is an ENERGY STAR qualified TV. The 55-inch TV is definitely in the low consumption range when compared to similarly sized models. To save even more energy, when you are just using the TV to stream music, you can turn off the TV's picture by hitting the Pick Off button on the BIC remote. A TV like the Sony requires some time and effort to fully discover and enable all of the features that it provides. But happily, you can run the initial setup quickly, and for many people, the default picture mode called Standard will render a perfectly fine picture that will require no tweaking. Of course, if you do want to sightsee, you can begin by simply going into the Picture Settings submenu and cycling through the Standard, Custom, and Vivid picture modes to see if one appeals to you. If you want more choices, then while watching TV, hit the Options button on the remote and pick Scene Select. The menu that pops up offers you a number of different settings based on the content that you are viewing. I suggest that you take a long look at the cinema scene. The Sony engineers have calibrated cinema to display a 6500K white point. which replicates the film look produced by movie studios. I find cinema a bit too warm for my taste, but it provides a good reference point for further tweaks. If you are still not satisfied with any of the default settings, Sony does provide a fairly good set of picture adjustment tools. Please note that depending on the scene that you select, not all of the picture adjustment tools are available. To solve that, pick General as the scene, which turns off Scene Select. Then when you open up the picture adjustment menu, you are presented with the common picture mode choices of Standard, Video, and Custom. Sony's KDL55W900A triluminous display employs a quantum dot technology to render the reds, blues, and greens that combine to create the TV's picture. I will not delve into the science of nanocrystals and their color emissive qualities. You can Google QD Vision's Color IQ to learn more. In theory, this quantum dot technology renders a wider range of colors than a traditional LED TV. Though when watching broadcast TV, you may not notice any difference in color rendition when compared to a high-end non-quantum dot LCD. Its edge-lit local dimming may not quite compare to the best plasma TVs in producing the inkiest blacks, but its flair for rendering a full color palette is remarkable. 3D performance was fine. I'm still not a big fan of active shuttered glasses, but at least they were light and comfortable to wear. At 55 inches, this Sony has the scale to be an event TV, perfect for movie night and big game parties. The audio quality from the integrated 10-watt speakers is quite good at normal volume. When the levels are pumped above 70 out of 100, the sound begins to distort. Therefore, if you're designing your home theater, plan on pairing this Sony with an external 5.1 or 7.1 sound system, which will give you more oomph and a wider audio range to accompany the triluminous color depth. The LED edge-lit KDL55W900A wears the crown in Sony's 2013 line of HD TVs, and rightfully so, with its color-rich triluminous display and wealth of streaming content partners. And even though I wish that its price was a little more budget-friendly, we still are bestowing it our HDTV Solutions Highly Recommended Award. You can read more details about my star ratings of the Sony KDL55W900A in my review at hdtvsolutions.com.